Welcome to the 2022 Best Food Survey. We had 149 responses, by far the most from all the prior surveys since 2009. I'll start with where to find the best satay, Hokkien mee, and so on, before we get to the best Singaporean, Malaysian, and Indonesian restaurant or home-based chef, then the best overall restaurant or home-based chef. All these responses are from your votes. Let's feast. Starting with satay. Our runners-up with 5% and 12% of the votes are Desmond Chin and Satay Man in Fremont. But with a resounding 57% of the vote, best satay in the Bay as well, Satay by the Bay SF. Next up, Hokkien mee. Our runners-up are Mama Judy with 14% and Shook with 23% of you voting. Shook was historically the best in Hokkien mee in our past survey, but for this round, with almost 30% of vote, we have a new entrant on the scene, Da Bao Singapore. Coming up, Kopi. Now back then, there was Kopitiam Cafe, but it has since closed. Our runners-up don't have too many votes, 3% for Curry Leaves Bistro and 7% for Nonya Cafe. And it's a landslide with 76% of the vote, Killarney Kopitiam in Palo Alto. Moving on to Chili Crab. We have a tie between Shook and Banana Leaf at 7%, Mama Judy at 13%, and while it's almost $100 for a chili crab meal, though the last I checked you can pay by installment, many of you, 58%, think it's worth it. Congratulations to Da Bao Singapore. Let's go on to Laksa. So coming in with 10% and 13% are Mama Judy and Killarney Kopitiam. But this must be one of other M's specialities. Her laksa at Da Bao Singapore, even though you have to put it together yourself, has garnered 58% of the vote. Now let's talk prata, roti prata. It's easy to make at home, you can get it frozen, and here we have two Malaysian restaurants, Ipoh Garden and Lion Lion, coming in at 12% and 15%. And just a little more at 17% of the vote is Banana Leaf. So really, there isn't a strong favorite place to get this. It's probably quite uniform across the restaurants. Char Kway Teow. This is just one way to spell it, but we also call it CKT, and judging from the buzz, there is one place many of you know which is the best for charcoal cooked char kway teow. Who is that? Well, first we have a respectable showing for Killarney Kopitiam and Da Bao Singapore at 13% and 17%. But for sure, the best charcoal cooked char kway teow comes from Jai at Curry Leaves Bistro with 44% of the vote. It's Popiah. We have Nonya Cafe and Da Bao Singapore at 8% and 11%. But there's no doubt who's best for Popiah. With 56% of the vote, Mama Judy. Hainanese chicken rice and presumably made with fresh chicken meat. So the chain restaurant Roosters and Rice shows up at 10%, followed by Da Bao Singapore at 17%. But oh my, has someone out-chickened the Singaporean restaurants at this? With 50% of the vote, Chicken Meets Rice, combining their San Jose and Cupertino outlets, is the favorite for you. Nasi Lemak. Pretty good showing from Da Bao Singapore and Desmond Chin, also known as Gen Hit Snacks at 17% and 20%. But just pipping them with 22% of the vote, we have Curry Leaves Bistro. Singapore Carrot Cake, or Cha Tao Kueh, never to be confused with the American version. 9% called Shilk's version the best, 22% Dabao Singapore's, but with 53%, it's another resounding best for Mama Judy. Mee Goreng. What do you think? Is there a big favorite? Dabao Singapore and Mingala are bringing up third and second at around 8 to 9%. But if you clearly want fried meats, it's Jai at Curry Leaves Bistro with 43% voting for best mee goreng there. This is not a very high-end dish, we know, but some of you just hanker for it. Bak chor mee. Hai Kai, 26%, a Vietnamese Teochew place, comes in second, followed by Dabao Singapore at 14%. But when you want the best, it's the BCM from Desmond Chin at 31%. Seafood, Hor Fun, also known as Wan Tat Hor. These Malaysian restaurants, Layang Layang and Ipoh Garden, are coming in at 16% and 20%. But just pipping them at 22% is Mingala Cafe in Fremont. Kueh, oh so many kinds, from Rainbow Lapis to Uncle Kueh's. Yinkamba's Wonderland may not be as well known, but she should be at 12%, then Mama Judy at 14%. But when it comes to kueh, most of you, 58%, get it from Tommy at Nonya Cafe. We could go on. I know some of you wanted to vote for best sambal, but I had to draw a line somewhere with the individual dishes. Now let's get on to the best restaurant or home-based chef by Singaporean, Malaysian or Indonesian cuisines. Starting with Singapore. Based on your voting, number 5, Desmond Chin. Number 4, Shilk. Number 3, Kalani Kopitiam. Number 2, Mama Judy. And number 1, Dabao Singapore. What a spectacular showing for the new entrants, especially the home-based chefs to the scene. Now Malaysian. Desmond Chin at number 5. Then Bengala, Layang Layang, Ipoh Garden, and one of our newest entrants to finally set up a restaurant here, Jai at Curry Leaves Bistro in Pleasanton. Indonesian. Number 5, Dabao Singapore. Number 4, Warriong Jalang. And number 3, Madalicious. Well, there's your sambal there. Number 2, Digobrak. And number 1, Warung Siska, which was in Redwood City. Yes, it was. Unfortunately, it just closed though, while the survey was underway. Finally, overall, combining all restaurants and home-based chefs, which ones would you go back to? In this category, you could vote for as many restaurants as you wanted. We just figured if you vote for a restaurant, that means it's worth going back to again. So, summing up everything we have, with just one vote separating the two of them, Dabao Singapore, followed by Mama Judy. Then Curry Leaves Bistro, Kalani Kopitiam, and Layang Layang, not to be confused with Layang Layang Express. Note, if you add chicken meets rice, San Jose, and Cupertino together, they would actually be on top. So what can I say? It's a big impression and new entrants have made on the scene. Really appreciate all the chefs, coordinators, and everyone who contributed to offer the best food for us. We are so blessed and lucky. Thank you so much. You are all the best. There's a lot of restaurants in the list that I've not tried. Alright, we've reviewed the results. Who's gonna win one of three $50 food vouchers to eat? I'm sponsoring the prizes. It's my little gesture of thanks to all the restaurants and home-based chefs here, giving us, our children, even our friends who may not have had a chance to frequently visit Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia, a taste of home. So, without much further ado, let's spin the wheel. And our first winner is Charmaine Tan. Let's remove her from the drawing. And spin the wheel again. And our next winner is looking like the red bar, Daniel. Remove from the wheel, and our third and final winner is, who is it? What color? It is the yellow, and that's Eugene Bay. Congratulations to all these winners. You'll be contacted by email and will need to answer a simple question to validate your identity. Hope you enjoyed the Best Food Survey. Please check out Singapore Connect on the web or social media to find out more about our events or volunteer to help. We're all about food, fun, family, and friends. And check out my food directory with a searchable listing of all restaurants and foodie groups where you can participate in group buys, especially from the home-based chefs. Thank you! And now on with the show.